Today we are going to present to you guys about quaking aspens.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Nash. We collected a lot of crickets, so that was fun.
My name's Oscar, and we learned about glaciers.
My name is Deja. I'm from Seattle, and my favorite thing about this was when we went hiking up Sleeping Beauty on our first day.
My name's Romy, and I'm from Olympia, and I liked doing water quality testing.
My name is Cecilia, and I'm from Seattle, and I liked learning about podcasts with Drew.
My name is Emily. I'm from Vancouver, and I enjoyed learning about glissading with Bill.
I'm Christina, and I'm from Hood River, and I enjoyed doing the art project with Elisa.
My name is Molly, and I'm from Portland, and I really liked learning about Condit Dam.
So, what are aspen trees? Well, aspen trees are located along the northwest, and they're known for their long branches and smooth bark. They live at an elevation of 8,000 to 10,000 feet above sea level, and new trees are cloned along the surface of the ground, and they form suckers.
Okay, so this is the South Prairie Aspen Grove, which we did a study on. This is Site 1, this is Site 2. Site 2 is on an island, but Site 1, it gets flooded every year because this is a seasonal lake, and during the winter and spring, the lava tubes get filled with ice and the water can't drain. So, would you say it was actually, did you say? Yeah. So the water level rises to about right here or so, and however the suckers are mainly located around here and up to about here. However, the major concentrations are here, between the two aspen groves and around here. Here's a little bit of a closer up. It's for the suckers, they're good about here, up and around. And there's a small little thing right here that divides the two groves. No, it's right here. Sorry, right here that divides the two groves. However, we found numerous suckers in here, and we believe that they may be the same grove, just bigger. And the ones in the middle just died off, and they haven't been able to reproduce. So.
Hey Nash, what are the triangles then?
Those represent the individual aspen.
Oh.
This is Site 2. It's divided also between two groves. This grove right here is in a small little crevice, and that looks like a collapsed lava tube. It's pretty interesting, and these are all mostly juveniles. So.
Okay, so this is our procedure, and these are the materials we use. In the 2 days we collected the data, so we used GPSs, data sheets, increment bores, tin foil, sample plot, which was actually a hula hoop that was 19.9 square feet, and measuring tape for each group, and then some red ribbon. So on the first day, the girls would go into the aspen grove and basically UTM all of the aspen trees and record the easting and the northing on the data sheet, and we would also write down observations, and those we mainly focused on health and size of the tree, so if there were conchs or no conchs, and small to large. Each group also marked 2 trees with the red ribbon, so then the next day we could go back to those trees and take core samples. And step 4, we would just repeat steps 1 and 2 until all the aspens in the Site 1 were recorded. And group 1, this was the boys. They would measure out the border where the aspen suckers would extend, and this actually happened in day 2. They would throw the sample plot, the hula hoop, and wherever it would land, they would count all the suckers inside of a hoop so they could estimate, how many suckers were there in total. And day 2, this is all of us together. We would go back to site 1 and measure the diameter of the take trees and then record them. And we'd also use the increment board to get a core sample for each tree. And then we wrap those core samples in tin foil just to protect them.
Okay, so site 2 was a little different. The aspen trees were growing on the rim of lava tubes on the rocks, and so we basically went over there and explored, and we UTM'd some of the juvenile trees. They were all older than suckers, about 6 to 12 feet on average, and they were growing around the side of it, and we checked the soil differences also where they were growing, because the soil there was much nicer than the soil at site 1 where the baby suckers had been growing. Okay, so this was back at site 1. This is me and Celia's group that we UTM'd. Most of the trees we noticed were healthier around the edge. There was some rotten trees, but we didn't know that until we took a core sample, because the tree looked perfectly healthy. And then we took a core sample and it was rotten in the middle.
And some of the trees were dead, as we noticed, and less than half of the trees had conchs.
So, Molly and I were in a group together, and ours was farther back from the edge. It was like from the edge of where the lake would come up, it was farther back. And we noted that more of our trees appeared to be healthy than ones that we took note of the presence of conchs. And they were, in average, I'd say about 10 inches in diameter, so about like that. None, we didn't notice any larger trees like that.
And the observations that we took were mainly just the health of the tree and the size. And because our aspen trees that we were recording were farther back, there was no pollen line present because the lake didn't reach that far.
So me and Deja noticed that there were several branches along the meadow, and we think that they may have fallen because of the lake. And
Aspen trees are still declining in site 1 even after they stopped cattle grazing in 2008.
And like Emily said, that the pollen line along the meadow shows where the lake goes.
Okay, so we were the ones going out getting help with the suckers when and doing the estimates, and we noticed that some of the suckers are being eaten by elk, and they're starting to go in clumps with the new ones coming up next to the dead ones. However, so the elk are definitely being a bit of a problem. But however, the main problem we're thinking is the flooding that occurs because it is just flooding out the suckers, and they're unable to grow. So, and we got a rough estimate that there are 6,844 suckers and around 21,058.88 square feet.
We believe the aspen suckers are getting flooded annually due to the lake being filled up. We also noted that many of the aspen suckers were eaten up by the elk. We also noted there were no suckers on the island in site 2, only a bunch of large juvenile aspens. We think they are possibly seated on the island.